Independent School District is now convened in a regular meeting on Thursday, February 12, 2015 in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center, 10,300 Jones Road, Houston, Texas at 6 p.m. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV Channel 16 and CFTV Online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize our Community Leadership Committee members who are in attendance this evening and our AVP students. They are from Cypress Ranch High School, Catherine Jennings and Kate Romlin, and their AVP advisors are Dusty Boucher, and also I think we have some helping us tonight from Cypress Springs, and their AVP advisor is Carlton Thompson. While I'm recognizing some people, we have a couple of people also. I want to recognize some kids and scouts that are here with us tonight. They're all getting their citizenship in the community badge. And we have Daniel Jones from Troop 277. Stand up, bud. Come on, you got to. There you go. And then we have Ben and Matthew Hudson from Troop 1296. Thank you guys for coming and making the sacrifice for that badge. Good news is it's probably going to be a short meeting. So you picked a really good night to get this badge, I'm telling you. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Teresa Hull, Associate Superintendent for Governmental Relations, Communications, and Chief of Staff. Jersey Village High School JROTC cadets presenting the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance are David Wynn, Isabel Cruz, Miranda Reisman, and Carissa Medina. Their sponsors are Major Dennis Martinez and Technical Sergeant Joseph Campbell. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we meet tonight, we ask your blessings on each and every child in our schools. We take it as a sacred responsibility to treat all children with respect and to encourage them to be successful. We thank you for our teachers and other employees who are dedicated to this important work. We touch the lives of individual students, but our work is also an investment in the future of our community, state, and nation. Help us to be lifelong learners so we can discover ways to do an even better job educating our students. And dear Lord, we ask you to provide our Board of Trustees with the wisdom they need to lead us. As we remember our servicemen and women and veterans, we ask you to bless those who have served our country. And as always, we pray that you provide our active duty soldiers safety and our world peace. In your holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Return!
You may be seated.
Thank you, cadets. You made Jersey Village proud right there. Board Member Christine Hartley will read the district's vision and mission statement for the benefit of the audience.
The vision statement: learn, empower, achieve, dream, lead. The mission statement: maximize every student's potential through rigorous and relevant learning experiences, preparing students to be 21st century global leaders.
Thank you, Christine. I also want to point out the music you heard prior to the meeting, our prelude, was from Dean Middle School, so we appreciate them. We will now move on to the special recognitions portion of the agenda. Agenda item 1A, and Mr. Hoffman and I were actually talking about this beforehand. I think this is quite impressive in what y'all are about to hear. The board will recognize Miles Sims, student at Cypress Ranch High School, for his service project, Kicks for Kids Shoe Drive at the Cypress Hoops Invitational Basketball Tournament in December. Presenter will be Nate Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry. It's my pleasure and an honor at this time to present to you a young man who discovered a need and came up with a plan to address it in his own community, Cy Ranch High School. He is, as you see before you, junior at Cy Ranch High School, Miles Sims. He's here today with his dad, Bill Sims, and we'll recognize all of them in just a second. Miles is a basketball player for the Mustangs, and over the years, he built up quite a collection of sneakers. Last summer, he did some brainstorming, thought he probably wasn't the only one in the Cypress area with an abundance of shoes. He decided to turn this dilemma into a solution for those in the community that did not have adequate footwear, and he launched the Kicks for Kids service project in conjunction with the 5th annual Cypress Hoops Invitational Tournament in December, and that's our own Cypress ISD tournament. Miles coordinated with our athletic department and other athletic departments and the terrific nonprofit Cy Hope, which we're all pretty much familiar with. He set up donation boxes outside of our tournament gym locations. Tournament guests who donated light, new, or gently used sneakers received one free admission into the tournament. Miles, his team of volunteers collected more than 20 pair of athletic shoes and delivered them to Cy Hope. The shoes were then distributed to children in Cy Hope's Hope Centers lacking adequate footwear, and in time for the holidays. The best part is that Miles said that this is just the beginning for the initiative. His team group character of Jack and Jill of America planned to attend Kicks for Kids with an event in March and will present the program at the Regional Community Service competition held in New Orleans this summer. Kicks for Kids seems to have quite the reach. When Miles was working out at LA Fitness one day, a stranger approached him and said he heard about his effort and wanted to donate a pair of shoes. Miles is already planning on asking LA Fitness to be an official donation station for next year. He has big plans ahead, including applying for charitable tax status, that's smart, so he can expand the program during his senior year. It all goes to show that you can't place limits on our Cypher ISD students when they take the initiative to lead the way. Please join me in congratulating Miles Sims from Cy Ranch High School.
Yeah. Mr. Sims, will you stand up and be recognized as well?
There you go.
When a child does that well, mom and dad need a little recognition too. Agenda item 1B, the superintendent will make remarks and announcements, including the honors and achievements earned by staff and students in recent weeks. Presenter will be Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Cy-Fair ISD Technology Services Leadership Team recently received the 2014-15 Team Award from the Texas K-12 Chief Technology Officer Council at the Texas Computer Education Association Conference. As part of a national association with the Consortium of School Networking, this is one of the highest honors that can be awarded to a technology team at the state and national level in K-12 education. The Team Award recognizes an exceptional district team for its transformative impact on educational technology and its work to improve student learning, opportunities, and access to technology. Those receiving the award include Frankie Jackson, Chief Technology Officer, Paula Ross, Director, Infrastructure, Communications, and Networks, Jennifer Miller, Performance Excellence Manager, Jay Johnson, Director, Technology Support Services, John Crumley, Director, Information Services and Applications, Oscar Villar, Senior Wide Area Networking Specialist, and Larry Barrios, Manager, Device Imaging and Integration. In addition, the CFISD Technology Services Team has been selected as an honorable mention for Consortium of School Networking's 2015 Team Achievement Award. This award recognizes a team in a school district or consortium of school districts for its outstanding achievements using technology to improve student learning and its commitment to building strong infrastructure within the district. The award will be presented next month in Atlanta. 3 CFISD educators were recognized by the Ivy League Educational and Charities Foundation. Cy Springs teacher Sean Benton Sr. was recognized for his 20-plus years in education. He has helped almost 500 students regain credits to put them on a path to graduate. Cy Springs Principal Travis Fanning was recognized for his 15-year education career in which he uses servant leadership to allow his school to flourish academically. Cy Lakes teacher Brian K. Robertson II was recognized for being a student-centered leader, including leading an after-school mentoring program for at-risk males. Brian also was recently awarded the Alpha Man of the Year Award by the Zeta Psi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. The CFISD Livestock Show and Sale was held February 5th through 7th at the CFISD Exhibit Center. Cy-Fair ISD students raised over $860,000, up over $25,000 from last year. After the event, donations continue, so this amount will increase. The community once again displayed an overwhelming amount of generosity and support in the live auction, freezer sale, and via additional monetary contributions to students. The live auction alone was up over $10,000 from last year. The high seller at the auction was the Grand Champion steer raised by Cywood student Dylan Jabosek and purchased by Crane Rental Division for $55,000. The District Science Olympiad Tournament was held in January, and Langham Creek won first place, with Cy Falls second and Cy Ranch third. Each of our high schools will have a team advance to regionals in April. In baseball, Langham Creek High School head baseball coach Armando Cedena received the 2015 Ray Knobloch Coaching Award by the Houston Area Baseball Coaches Association. This award is given to one high school baseball coach who has devoted his life to the development of baseball programs in the Houston area. HABCA also named 3 area students to the All Greater Houston preseason high school baseball team. In girls wrestling, Cy Ridge placed first in the Texas High School Wrestling Coaches Association Girls State Duels Championship. This is the second year in a row the Cy Ridge team has taken first place. Cy Ridge girls also took first place in district, followed by Cy Falls, second, and Jersey Village third. Cy Lakes won district wrestling in boys with Cy Ridge second and Cy Ranch third. Cy Ranch boys and girls swim teams won the District 17 6A swimming and diving championships. Cy Creek boys placed second and Cy Woods third. Cy Woods girls placed second and Cy Fair girls came in third. Cy Woods went on to be the first girls team to win a regional championship since 2008. Cy Ranch placed third at that regional championship. In girls basketball, Cy Woods won the District 17 6A title, and I might add to that, they're actually the number one ranked team in the state at this time. Cy Fair came in second, Cy Falls third, Cy Ranch fourth. These four CFISD teams will compete at the UIL Region 3 bi-district playoff, in the bi-district playoffs on February 16th and 17th. Congratulations to all of our talented students and staff. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. Real quick, I know we got some of our technology team that's out in the audience. Would you guys stand up that are out here tonight so we could recognize you? Agenda item 2A, any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this meeting. Comments from board members? Bob?
Thank you, Bob. I just wanted to make a comment. A lot of times I give a shout out to the teachers and the staff, and while they were included in this month, I'd like to say thank you to all of the volunteers who build up this district, who keep things going for our students, who support programs for our students. As I was helping cook hot dogs and hamburgers at the Winter Wonderland this past weekend, I looked upon the playground and I thought, how many parents were there helping, and they help raise money, they help support programs, they help tutor and mentor and global volunteers, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all the volunteers who help our district. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks.
Bob?
I just kind of wanted to share because this last week I went to Washington, D.C. I actually came back basically more intelligent than I went. And I attended the National School Board Association's Advocacy Institute. It was 3 days basically of hearing different speakers and talking about federal bills that would be concerning to public school education. Met with Representative John Culberson, who happens to live in our district, had a really great sit-down talk with him. And then I met with the education aides for Representative Michael McCall and Senator Ted Cruz. Right now up for consideration is the modernization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, otherwise known as the ESEA, and we all know that as the No Child Left Behind and or the Race to the Top. It has been moved to a priority list with the federal government, and there are concerns about how they're going to address the maintenance of effort, the understanding of the federal investments in Title I, vouchers, school choice provisions, and set-asides for supplemental services. There is a touting that they want to return authorization and responsibility back to local districts. We will wait and see if that actually happens. I will tell you that it is very important that you as members of people, you as our constituents and our members of our community need to let your voices be heard by our representatives and our senators in Washington, D.C. And if you don't think that you make an impression on them, I will tell you that at the last legislative session statewide, I remember that Senator Patrick made the comment that it was the comments coming from his constituents that made him realize what was important to the people. And there are all kinds of surveys, there's all kinds of reports coming out that are anti-public education. Please check into that and find what the actual facts are before you make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Mr. Jackson?
Well, I was going to volunteer to go after Kevin this time. But I'll go ahead and go in front of Kevin. I made a full complement of stops. I and the rest of my colleagues enjoyed a hearty bowl of alphabet soup, including such alphabets that we made on our spoon like FFA, our STAR, our VIPS, or COC, and the list goes on and on. Your board has been very active this past month. The one area that I would like to focus on is I was privileged to attend a session where certain student musicians, or rather scholar musicians, scholar athletes, scholar actors, scholar leaders, were recognized for being among the top 1 to 3% of the scholars nationally. Truly, these were superb accomplishments by these students, and so tonight I tip my hat to both them as well as their parents for a job well done.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. John?
Thank you. Today I made the first of several trips that I will be making to Austin. And unfortunately today, the main agenda item and the big thing going on today was the hearing in the Senate Committee for the Open Gun bill. And I have to say, just as Bob said, we really need to contact our legislators so that we won't go back to the Wild West in Texas. And it will really, if that goes through, it really will have quite an impact on all kind of meetings, and whether the school board meetings, church, shopping, or whatever. So we do have quite a battle there with other issues, especially with education, and so we really have to do what we can in contact, write, call, visit our legislators. Also, I wanted to say this is February, this is Black History Month, and I want to thank all of those schools who do have programs and initiatives for Black history, to recognize the history that is by and large left out of our history books, and embracing the achievements of people who have been very much a part of the American fabric. As I was up there with all the fear and somewhat hate that this gun bill is producing here in our state, I was reminded of one of Dr. Martin Luther King's quotes where he said, "Only love is capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." And I'm hoping that our state will embrace that, and that we can look for peace and unity and togetherness as we promote education, health care, and everything else that we sure need in this state. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else comments? I do want to point one thing out because I know he won't do it. On our friend and colleague, Dr. Ogletree, has written a book, and he will have, I wrote one, but it was one of those dot-to-dot deals. It didn't really sell. This is an actual book. And John, make sure I'm correct on this. On February 27th at 7:30 p.m., there will be a book signing / celebration at First Metropolitan Church. And everyone's invited.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time?
7:30. The name of the book is What's in Your Hand.
So congratulations, John.
Thank you.
That's a huge accomplishment. Let's see something. Hey, Miles, you want to go home? You got homework? You got homework? All right. Thanks for coming. You can go. Seriously. Hey, I've got a sophomore that was up till 3:30 last night in the morning for English. So trust me, I know what you're going through right now. Thank you. That wasn't on the script. Huh? Yeah, Mark, you want to go? Yeah. Agenda item 3A. Patrons who have duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concern or interest to the district other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience and the viewers that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of speakers. Please understand that a lack of a response from board members does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the board, and Ms. Christine Hartley, Secretary of the Board, will be the designated timekeeper. I believe tonight we've had 3 individuals sign up to speak, and our first speaker will be Ms. Sakina Hoskins.
I have some information. To President Don Ryan, Board of Trustees, Dr. Henry, and to the entire Cy-Fair ISD community, my name is Sakina Hoskins, Vice President of Cy-Fair TSTA, NEA. Over the last 12 years, the cost of health insurance provided by the Teacher Retirement System of Texas, TRS Active Care, has increased exponentially. Employee contributions to premiums have doubled, while the state and district contributions have remained unchanged. Since fiscal year 2003, the state monthly contribution toward TRS Active Care premiums has been $75, while districts contribute at least the required minimum of $150. The 2014 TRS Active Care Affordability Study states the 10 largest self-insured districts contribute $86 more per month toward health care than the 10 largest TRS Active Care districts. The lowest contribution of the self-insured districts is $317 per month. Cy-Fair ISD contributes less than $317 per month for half of all health care plans offered. Cy-Fair TSTA NEA has asked the district for relief by contributing $1,000 in a health savings account for employees. Let me be clear, any level of contribution to a health savings account is only an added benefit to help meet TRS Active Care high deductibles, and not a benefit in lieu of a pay raise for all employees. The recent pay raises have increased salaries. However, recent pay raises have not fully offset the increase in insurance premiums that were between 4% and 8% for some employees. Cy-Fair TSTA NEA understands the complexity of this issue and it asked the state legislatures to increase the state contribution and reinstate TRS Active Care funding ratios back to the 2003 fiscal year level. In the packet, you'll find personal stories from district employees, healthcare survey results, and the TRS Active Care Affordability Study, and a letter written to members of the Texas House Appropriations Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins. Our next speaker will be Dr. Frances Smith.
Good evening, President Ryan, board members, and Dr. Henry. Even though numerous words have passed through their lips proclaiming that education is a priority, our state leaders, namely our governor and lieutenant governor, are proposing a state budget that does not show education as a priority. They have $18 billion in new money to spend on the many needs in this state, such as sorely needed funds for public ed, health care, mental health, and other critical public needs. Yet what many are afraid of seeing is happening. Our state leaders in the Senate are defining critical needs as lowering business and property taxes. The House has pledged $2.2 billion of the property growth revenue with some strings attached to education. The money must be used to improve equity, decrease transfers of funds from wealthy to poor districts, and increase the state's share of the school finance system, an indication House members do understand education needs. The Senate is suggesting $4 billion for tax relief and only about $200 million for public schools. This is a blatant disregard for real needs. It's time for public ed advocates to fight for our fair share. The legislative majority cut $5.4 billion from public education in 2011 and restored only $3.4 billion in 2013. $2 billion would restore the 2011 cut, and additional billions are needed to take care of the basic expenses, such as 80,000 to 85,000 new students in the state each year. Though many hope the lawsuit in which Cy-Fair is involved will fix many of the problems, it is still in court. Hopes of settlement are clearly in the future, and school districts cannot depend upon that money until they see it. The Lieutenant Governor, according to the Austin American Statesman, said the Comptroller's revenue estimate was enough to secure our border, provide property and business tax relief, while focusing on education and infrastructure. This reinforces his legislative record in his 2014 election campaign. His primary interest in education is for diverting tax dollars from public schools for vouchers and other unproven privatization interests. It's hard to figure what the governor might be advocating other than preschool education needs, but his comments during the campaign do not suggest that public education is a priority. The Comptroller has predicted that the state's rainy day fund will grow to $11.1 billion by August 2017. But far-right legislators will likely fight any effort for public education supporters to secure the money for its many needs. What this means for all of us and other public education supporters is that we must be vocal, write letters, and make phone calls to our legislators in Austin and visit them in Austin and locally. They must understand that politics gets in the way of providing children the education they need. They need to do what is right and support public education.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Our next speaker will be April Lemon.
President Ryan, members of the board, and Dr. Henry. I'm April Lemon, and I'm here again on behalf of TSTA, Cy-Fair TSTA, to invite you and all parents to participate in the annual Read Across America program on March 2nd. Read Across America encourages everyone in the community to celebrate reading on Dr. Seuss's birthday. This NEA program began in 1998 with the idea of motivating and exciting children to read. And Dr. Seuss was the master at motivating and charming children to read, so it made perfect sense to hold this celebration on his birthday. Dr. Seuss was one of the best-read children's authors of all time. His books sold over 200 million copies and were translated into 15 different languages. The young and old alike adored his stories. And now, to honor him, we celebrate his life and works by participating in NEA's Read Across America program. Motivating children to read is an important factor in student achievement and in creating lifelong successful readers. Research has shown that children who are motivated and spend more time reading do better in school. Dr. Seuss would be proud to see his birthday honored in such a way. So this March 2nd, instead of turning on the electronics, turn on a good book with your child. Perhaps you could read on the floor with your Thing 1 and Thing 2, or stir up some green eggs and ham as you read, or read about a wambus or a lorax or a flob. Bake a birthday cake and read about poor Horton. Whatever way you choose, enjoy reading with your family and friends. If any of you are interested in participating in reading to children in the Cy-Fair schools during the week of March 2nd, please contact Mary Stoner at Cy Falls High School or me, April Lemon, at Andre Elementary. Thank you.
Thank you, April. That's always a great program, and I know that all of us that participate enjoy it. So we can just send you an email, and can we pick our schools again, and you go with that? Awesome. You make it so easy. I appreciate that. Also, during the course of the committee of the whole meeting, it was the consensus of the board that the following action items be approved as submitted or amended. 4A, the board will consider awarding bids and contracts and/or authorizing purchase orders as recommended in the posted agenda item. 4B, the board will consider approving the external auditors, Hereford, Lentz, Sellers, and Kirkham, P.C., to perform the annual audit of the district's financial statements for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2015. 4C, the board will consider approving the budget amendments for the period of October 1, 2014 through December 31st, 2014. 4D, the board will consider approving on second reading the additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies DCB local, DCC local, DCD local, DCE local, and GKB local. And agenda item 4E, the board will consider approving the tax refunds of $500 or greater for the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. And then 4F, the board will consider approving the minutes of the January 20th, 2015 regular meeting. On Monday, the following non-consensus item was placed on the consensus agenda. Agenda item 5A, the board will consider adopting an order authorizing the issuance of Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Unlimited Tax Refunding Bonds, Series 2015, levying a tax and providing for the security and payment thereof, providing for the award of the sale thereof according with specific parameters, authorizing the execution and delivery of a purchase contract, a paying agent registrar, an agreement, and an escrow agreement related to such bonds, approving the preparation of an official statement, and enacting other provisions related thereto. If any board member wishes to remove one or more items for further discussion, please do so at this time. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consensus items as recommended or amended.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Jackson. Second, Mr. Hoffman, Ms. Hartley. Do any board members have questions? All those in favor, please signify. It's unanimous. We will now go on to the superintendent's briefing portion of the agenda. Dr. Henry will make comments and provide information on various topics. Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. The PTO President's Council Fundraising Vendor Fair provides an opportunity for booster clubs, sports associations, school supply, and school spirit chairpersons to preview fundraising options with CFISD-approved fundraising vendors. The fair will be held at the Berry Center on Tuesday, February 17th from 9:30 to 1. The public is welcome to attend, and that's always a really interesting event. As Dr. Ogletree said earlier, February is Black History Month, and we would like to recognize and acknowledge the contributions of Black Americans to our country. Curriculum activities and some cultural arts programs will focus on the influence of Black history and its impact on the diversity of our community and our nation and our world. I want to congratulate our high school students who have been identified as National Merit Scholars. 150 students and their family members were invited to attend a meeting on February 2nd to be recognized for their achievement of academic excellence. The National Merit Ceremony will be rebroadcast throughout February and March on Cyfair TV, Comcast Channel 16. You can also view the entire program on our website at www.cfisd.net. Just a couple other little things I want to throw in. Just a reminder that the Superintendent's Fun Run is Saturday, February 21st, and we'll start the first group at 8 a.m. I hope everyone will come out for that event. It's a great community event, and it's also an opportunity for employees in Cyfair ISD to give back to the community that so richly supports us. So if you get a chance, all those funds go to our Cyfair Educational Foundation. Last year we raised $34,000 for the event, and our goal this year is $50,000. So that money will make a difference in the lives of many Cyfair ISD graduates. Also, this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we had our Junior Achievement Inspire event at the Berry Center, where we had over 8,000 of our 8th graders come, and there were 50 industry and business leaders there to make education relevant for our 8th graders. We also had numerous speakers from Fortune 500 companies, and I would like to thank Linda Macias and all of her staff for making that such a huge success. That is the original one of its kind, in the whole United States. We're in our second year of doing it, and there were actually a couple of more this year in the Houston area. But I think if you talk to the JA people, they will tell you that nothing compares to what Cyfair ISD and Junior Achievement put on for the benefit of our 8th graders. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mark, and that really is impressive on the Junior Achievement. I think a lot of us went out there and got to see it hands-on, and it's amazing the companies that are out there that are talking to our kids and getting them interested in who knows what type of job, but that they can benefit from in the future. That will conclude our meeting for tonight. So we appreciate you coming. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day. Don't forget to get your spouse something, anything. Just something.
That is sage advice.
That is sage advice.